which one of these do you like better?
Why do you need to know?
Because it's a black tie event. Duh. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hollow Knight Marauders podcast and Hollow Knight Marauders Live. This is our first live stream in like a decade, maybe 2 decades. No,
Seems like
you guys are gonna throw that at me at the beginning, and we're not gonna talk about it firsthand.
Hey, I could see you behind. I could see you behind the scenes. You didn't even crack a smile down there.
Are you kidding? I was freaking the hell out.
Oh, maybe
I was
maybe
just trying not to. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We
that'll be up on the social medias later, hopefully.
I guess.
The social mediums.
I changed my outfit so you guys wouldn't know we filmed that right before this. So
hey,
you filmed that right before this?
You didn't need to tell everyone that.
I didn't know.
Makes it,
but it's true.
Makes it more on brand. We tell the truth here at Hollow Knight Marauders. So
I haven't. There's the trend going around that's just like, we're like this group. We do this when we say we're gonna do this. We're the Hollow Knight Marauders. We make our content right before we go live.
Yeah,
this is true. And I text them at 8:58, going, "Where's the link? Let me in."
we do talk about it for like days to prep like ahead of time. But when it's like down to the wire, we're all like,
I know. I wish I could do it ahead of time, but
it's been a while since we did this. Since October, right?
Yeah, but even so,
that was a different stream.
Like longer though, because of everything that happened this year. Like we just haven't had like a good old let's stream and talk about new Star Wars.
I know. We're gonna be talking about Star Wars.
Good to
all
see
of Star Wars from this year. And when we're coming up with our list, we were just saying like one of the categories we have here is favorite short of the year. And I was like, oh, it could be from Tales of the Jedi. And these guys were like, that was from like last October. And I was like,
that was over a year ago.
I was like, wasn't that this spring? So it's been a trip. I don't remember what was from this year, what was from last. So this is the second annual. Are you allowed to say second annual? I mean, you can, right?
Annual?
Now that we're doing it twice in a row, it's annual because we did it last year.
So now it's a streak.
We're doing it this year. Yeah.
So now it's a trend.
This is the
couldn't have said first annual. Good, because we're us. But...
Maraudy Awards, which is our favorite things from this year in Star Wars. I don't remember what really won last year. I think Andor like swept most of
it. It was last year's sweeps were Andor and Shadow of the Sith.
Jedi.
Those are the sweeps.
Andor, it's up for an Emmy this year, right? But it didn't.
No, it was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year.
Well, usually when whatever wins the Maraudys wins the Emmys, so it's a good gauge of.
We influence it, I think.
Yeah,
I think they watch this and then they go to that. So
I also don't think Andor won the Emmy, but anyway,
in our hearts it did. So yeah, we have a lot of categories here to go through. Before we get started, is there anything like you guys wanted to kind of? Probably not, but is there anything you guys wanted to bring up that we haven't streamed in a while? Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Get off your chest.
That's it. Haven't streamed in a while.
Matt has a really cool Ray video coming up that's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, if I get it finished any day now. It's basically finished.
I've been so mean to Matt.
No, he has been very mean to Matt about it, but he needs that fire lit in order to finish this.
I need the fire lit, and also you've been carrying the channel like completely. So I've been working on my thing, so I got to get it out.
It means a lot, but do I win a Maraudy for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about
Can someone 3D print us a Maraudy, please? Thank you.
AJ goes, "Oh, do I win a Maraudy? Can someone print one out for me?"
Well, yeah. What else am I gonna do? It's like Fusilli Jerry and Seinfeld. There's our Seinfeld reference.
There you go. So, we should make one out of macaroni. That's what we should do.
Ooh, a Gorian shard sweep. I mean,
just you wait.
Talked about a long time ago. That was Gorian shard.
Was it that 2021?
Okay, let's scroll it back. So speaking of just like stuff that came out this year, like show wise stuff that came out this year.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yep. That's a show. No.
This year it was Mando season 3, Vision season 2, The Bad Batch season 2, Ahsoka. and that's it. But
yes,
it feels like there was like so much and I feel like I'm missing like a million things. And then New High Republic started this year. A lot of books, not as many like comic highlights. Jedi Survivor came out this year.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Lego was bought this year.
As if he didn't put it as his favorite video game.
It was the only video game.
It's the only one.
Hey, but Skeleton Crew comes out next week, so we got that to look forward to, right? Right, guys?
So we'll talk about that later. We'll get to that at the end.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So I guess let's just dive into these awards. And, for anyone listening, there's a live chat going on in this. Like, if you're listening to us on the podcast, you're like, why did they bring up Gorian Shard randomly? We're pulling up the live chat.
Yeah.
Hey, all new nerds in the chat.
And
of course, Chad's
nerds.
in the chat. Chad's in the chat.
Hey, boy, it was all the regulars.
And Nick, Clone Humor. Good to see Clone Humor. I feel like we haven't chatted in a while. But what was I just saying? Oh, yeah, we have a live chat.
Let's get started.
So people in the live chat, feel free to vote with us. Like, pick your thing, and maybe we can kind of briefly look and see what the people's choice is. So the first award category is favorite music/score. So you guys go first.
Why'd you do this one first? Because this one is so loaded. Not really loaded.
You gotta start with a pretty good one.
It's a Kiner family sweep.
I was about to say it's a Kiner sweep this year. Kiner sweep.
Yeah. Like it is the Kiners. Like for me personally, it was the Bad Batch season 2 score. Specifically, don't laugh at me. Specifically, the racing mix from the episode Faster, which is just what like bounces in the background while Tech is like doing like the the circuit. I listen to that song like every single day still. So yeah,
it's a good one.
That's the one.
And of
course, you're choosing the Kiners for the Bad Batch.
For the Bad Batch,
that's your
yes.
choice? Okay.
And I'm making the Kiners for Ahsoka. Specifically, the intro song that plays in the first episode while the credits roll. I have listened to that song so many times. I cannot tell you.
You listen to that daily.
August and September, that song was nearly constantly in my mind. Yeah, the intro song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the spooky intro with like the drums and the oh my god, and the title crawl. We haven't had a good title crawl in 3 years, and it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So I know we each have our individual things, but is there like a show? Is there like the show choice we go with? Like, do I have a tiebreaker coming up here, or is it just?
I mean, you can have a tiebreaker. Most of our stuff, we usually are on the same page, but it's kind of like 3 broader things. But if there's anything that's just like, yeah, this is like the thing, like step above, like that's what the big win is.
Like Andor.
Yeah.
So okay, for me, best score is drumroll, or favorite score. I shouldn't say best score. Is the Kiners. Big surprise for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I love the main theme at the end of each. The thing Matt just talked about was my favorite thing as well. And then the credit theme was just like awesome. Like that was Game of Thrones level, like awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the graphics and the music.
It's the way they. Oh man, the music in Ahsoka sounds so good. It's like Japanese infused, like samurai movie-esque with like classic Western,
with the themes from Rebels for all the characters.
With the themes from Rebels. I mean, how impressive is it?
Which they created. So it was very cool to see that translated over.
It's like it's the perfect kind of payoff for literally 10 plus years of music to be able to come in and like just score all of it, mix it together. Clone Wars themes, Rebels themes, no Bad Batch themes, unfortunately.
Yeah,
been burned before on
Omega
that
will be in season 2.
That should be in Book of Boba Fett season.
I was convinced.
Crimson
Dawn. One more honorable mention about music though before we continue on. I gotta also add in all of the jukebox music in Jedi Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Most specifically, my favorite one being Ebb and Flow. Like
the Survivor score was so good.
The Survivor score was insanely good. That's number 2. You were just number 2.
Duetting that.
Incredible. Like video game music, like that. Anyone who knows anything about me and video game music, that is like what got me into video games. And
the Kobo theme.
I was literally just about to say that
plays when I get
Kobo theme.
That plays when I get out of bed.
Where the Neckos roam, and then what's the one with like the city atop the clouds or like something above the clouds? I forget the title. I used to listen to that all the time. That theme. While you're going up the elevator and it's like getting louder and it's like crescendoing, and then you get up there and you have Bode flying around on his Z95 and you have all the
chasing the
droid fighters.
The droid fighters.
Oh my
we'll
god,
get back
dude.
to Bode. I have something to say about that later. But yeah, everything in the jukebox is just my thing. We got more music from The Who, more just everything everywhere. So good. Incredible.
Very good.
Mm.
So next we have favorite director.
Okay, this one was
totally
very
didn't-
difficult. Mainly
I think
because
it
it's
was easy.
because we had to pick it a minute before
very
we
difficult.
came on.
But I will say, like, I did have in mind early on, I have to go with Rick Famuyiwa because like he did direct the last 2 of Mando season 3, and those are both like they were a good like wrap up, and he always does like a really good job, and I love his take on the show. So I got to go with Rick.
Love Rick. Good choice.
All
Good
right.
choice.
Good stuff.
Matt?
Good stuff. I'm going with. So I originally thought I was going to go with Dave Filoni for Ahsoka, but I think I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to go with Lee Isaac Chung.
Good choice.
Which episode?
He directed the
Convert?
which is my
Okay,
favorite
okay.
episode of season 3 of Mandalorian, for sure. Like every time that episode, I used to watch that episode weekly when it came out back in like April or May. Just sit down, pop that on. I love just the vibes of that episode. Very Andor-esque, but for the New Republic, and I just love I love the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's very well done. Like it's not just the only thing I will always love this is when Pershing opens the door when they get to the last car on the train. He opens the door and he's like, "No more train." And I always laugh, but that's a writing thing, not a director thing. But I just love how he opens the door and he's like, "Uh-oh, no more train." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, we can see that." But other
That was
than
the
that,
Star Wars version
flawless.
of Bullet Train.
No.
Bullet Train, very good movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
We watched it like a year late, but very good movie.
Yeah. Matt, have you seen Bullet Train?
No, I have not seen Bullet Train.
You would like
worth
it
it.
a lot, I think.
You'd like it a lot.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it, and trailer looked good.
Yeah, it was fun. So, my tiebreaker again,
Yeah,
Sure.
Rick Famuyiwa.
It's gotta be Rick.
He directed. It was hard not to choose him. He directed 4 episodes of television. He did 3. I think he did 3 Mando episodes, and he did 1 Ahsoka. He did the Ahsoka finale.
He did the Ahsoka finale. The
The
Ahsoka
Ahsoka?
finale.
If I was wrong on
I
that,
didn't think. I
Well,
thought
Rick-
Dave Filoni directed every single episode,
No.
along with writing them.
no, he wrote them. He didn't. No.
He wrote them.
He didn't direct every episode. It was
Oh.
like a bunch of different directors.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably
Yeah,
misremembering that.
Steph Green did 2, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, now
think Dave
that
might
you
have only
mention
done
that.
2. But yeah, Rick did the finale for Ahsoka and Mandalorian, which, if you've watched the show, I didn't think the finale of Mandalorian was like amazing, but I don't think that was from a direction point of view.
You can't go wrong with Rick because like he always does
He's
like
great.
pull it off. And I always like, I don't know, he's just reliable. He's a solid choice, okay? That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get him for our next project.
Yeah, we'll get him on the show.
Yeah,
Our
we'll get
next
him on the
project.
show to direct the next Maraudys.
He'll
That's
do another,
that's the
he'll
thing.
do a
If you win
creative
best
character.
director,
He'll be like, you guys
Oh,
are a
man.
mess.
So this next one is totally out of left field, and it's nothing to do with any
Marauder moment of
Star
the year
Wars
now.
content. It's our Marauder content. I can't talk right now, as always. But yeah, favorite Marauder moment of the year. So like thing we did, activity we did. It could even be like, I don't know, Matt, if you have like a funny memory that like maybe we might not know about, that could qualify. I don't know why I pointed you out on that, but Matt, how about you?
Grinning like a doofus. Okay, so let me ask this first because this might be a 2022 moment that I am
Oh, God.
misattributing to 2023, but I think it's a 2023 moment. When Jack blew his nose in the intro, was that a 2022 or 2023
I
moment?
don't remember.
I think that was this year.
Because that's my favorite Marauder moment of all time.
What?
We're sitting there just jamming out to this theme we made, and all of a sudden we just hear
Yeah, his mic was unmuted somehow.
his mic unmuted. And I think about that all the time. That was the first thing I thought of when you said Marauder moment of the year. I thought Jack blowing his nose.
Okay.
I went with that. And then if that was in 2022, I was going to go with our celebration coverage because that was also a lot of fun.
Oh, that was great at 5, 6 a.m. or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that this year. I was like,
With
Rolling
Chad.
out
something
of
didn't
bed at
happen this
4 a.m.
I was like,
Chad
that
and
didn't happen
Hannah.
this year. What are you talking about? Yeah. the remote coverage. Yes.
Oh,
and
that was
the
great.
rock and roll music and
I had to go to work after, but Matt, you didn't work, I don't think, and you went back to bed and told
I
everyone
had
about the dream you
I had
had.
the dream that you were an oyster or a clam. You were a shelled mollusk with googly eyes. No, you didn't have any googly eyes, but you did talk. Like your mouth moved, the shell moved. I dropped you. You broke in half, and I was like devastated. And I think we were at PAX. But I was like carrying you around. Be like, oh, check this out.
So I'm not gonna let you carry me around at PAX this
yeah, because I'll drop you and I will kill you.
Wow.
AJ,
so,
you go. What was your
Jack
favorite
blowing
moment?
his nose. Okay.
Jack
I'm
blowing
also
his
gonna
nose.
go with Jack blowing his. I'm just kidding.
The tiebreaker.
So this was tough. I chose two in case you guys chose one, and I really wanted to choose a different one. So I don't know what Jamie's going to choose. So
do you want me to say mine then?
This is
yeah.
I'm on the edge of my seat. What? Really? You're gonna do all that and then you're gonna pass it on? Okay, fine.
Well, I want to choose the right one.
Make it easier. I don't know if you picked this, AJ, but this was, I think, one of my favorite moments. This summer, our other friend Matt came up to visit with us, and for some reason, we decided to not what you're thinking, guys. We decided to go to this secondhand electronics store that we go to all the time to buy like old video games. We bought a VHS TV, like a 13-inch TV. It's behind AJ in his setup now.
It is right here.
Just to buy it, and so we could watch stuff on VHS. And honestly, that was like a top tier like Marauder moment. Like AJ's like has the TV like over his shoulder, like in like the parking lot. And I don't. What do you think is the best part of that story?
The best part of that story.
What?
Well,
that was after.
No, but I'm pretty sure this was when Matt Chan was here. When we went to the store, and there was a VHS TV in the back that specifically said not for sale, and it was behind the desk because they were like using it for like display stuff. And AJ just walks up to the guy and he goes, you know that TV with the sign that says not for sale? That's not for sale, right?
Hey, you have to, if you don't
you gotta go for it. You gotta go for it.
Yeah, you
gotta go for it.
You gotta go.
Don't be the customer that doesn't know how to read. Like,
hey, I was very polite. I just was like, what if he had said yes?
I'm pretty sure I didn't remember that moment because I've worked in customer service for that long and like experienced that, and I blocked it out of my memory that you asked that in person. Yeah, we did have a laugh, but like
I was very polite. Come on,
Matt Chan, we were just hooting up and down the aisles.
Hey, if everything's negotiable, right? Maybe he would have been like, "Oh, for this price," then I'm like, "Oh wait, never mind, I'm not paying that." So, anyways, my favorite moment wasn't either of those, so maybe I'll just say both of mine. But
go ahead.
Well, one of them was our PAX East panel, which we surprisingly had like over 100 people at, and we were like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, that was intense. That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
We just submitted to do one for this upcoming PAX East in Boston.
Hopefully,
we get the trilogy.
Yes,
Return of the Jedi for us.
Trilogy of games created by committee at PAX.
So yeah, so for those who aren't familiar, what we've done at PAX East so far as a panel is we've created a fake video game, and so we've each like come up with like elements of the game, and then the audience votes on what it is. So our first year we accidentally created a some sort of city builder RPG thing. This year we created a dating simulator in which you are Anne and Zelen, who is a pod racer.
So don't forget, developed by From Software, famous for Dark Souls. And, and
none of these games are real. None of these games are real. None of us.
But they could be. They could be. Make your voices heard.
It's a Souls.
Get out
Souls
there in the streets. It's a Souls type dating sim.
So
anyway,
the real moment of the year, though, I think the other one I had here was
if you don't mention it, I will.
Having Emily Swallow on the show.
Yeah,
like that was like our peak moment of the year, I think. And then also Alex and Molly and all the other great guests we had on during that.
And it's funny you mentioned that because both of those were like peak moments for us. We wanted to have somebody from one of the shows appear on our show for a long time. Yeah. And it was one of our goals from the very inception of HoloNet Marauders to like get Alex and Molly on the show. So it was like wild that we actually did it. And I was sweating profusely. But now I won't be anymore. Come back on, Alex and Molly. Sorry if I freaked you out.
I think it was good. And then thanks to Jack for helping us get.
Of course.
Yes, you're getting everything set up with Emily Swallow.
And thank you for blowing your nose.
Yeah. So Jack was involved in all these moments.
So
He
we're
wasn't involved
sending
with the
Jack
TV.
to Maraudy,
He could be though.
We'll give Jack can 3D print the Maraudy, and then we'll give it to him.
and then he'll take it for himself. Perfect.
So
Commission him to make the awards, and then
next up is our favorite toy or merch. I guess I'll go first on this one.
oh,
I'll stop being suspenseful. But mine was a long time coming. They came out with the Lego Ghost again. The last one was back in like the mid 2010s or something. I don't know. And it's like a really expensive set now. So I was glad they released this again, and I was able to get it. And I love Lego, as most of you know. I have a new necklace I made for myself with the Lego brick
very
on it.
crafty.
So yeah, that's mine. Lego Ghost and
Very
Phantom
good.
too.
You ready for
Whoa,
mine?
whoa. You can't give it to all of them. I guess
No,
you can.
yes it is.
Those are beautiful. Those are
My
really good
favorite
Black Series.
is the Bad Batch Season 2 Black Series figure line, which I said I wasn't going to buy, but I bought all of them.
You kind of had to, right?
I was gonna say, you said you weren't gonna buy them. Yeah, right.
Well,
Those are
I said I wasn't going to get all of them, but they all ended up looking really good. Okay,
They're very
possibly
good.
not get all the Bad Batch.
like hold the Omega up to your new
yeah,
webcam.
look at
you have.
her. Look
If it
at
focuses.
her. She is incredible. Hang on, I'm
Like, they look-
sorry.
They're a nice
Come on,
combination
camera.
of live action and like
Yeah,
how they look in
Ome-
animation. Looks really good.
Omega also comes with a separate head. You can pop the head off. I'm
put the
not
hat-
going to do that
put the hat
though.
on
You
her.
can put the hat on her.
Nah,
Tech's
no
helmet
hat.
comes off, and he actually is wearing his goggles, and he doesn't look awful. So I can actually take his helmet off. I always put Wrecker wearing his helmet as a hat, as he does in the show. I could tell you like 6 things wrong with Hunter's armor, but I'm not going to. But otherwise, it looks wonderful.
The colors look
Echo-
really nice.
Echo is just amazing. So
Echo's Echo.
Echo is just Echo. But yes, my favorite toy this year was the Season 2 Bad Batch figure line, in which they were all Walmart exclusives, except
Ew.
Omega.
I don't know.
It
why
was
they do
so
that.
weird. It was so
Yes.
weird, and exclusives stink. And Hasbro, if you're listening, and I know you are, stop doing exclusives. I beg of you. Period.
And stop laying off a
I was
billion
just about to
people
say, and rehire the 20% of
Yeah.
workers that you just laid
Oh,
off.
that too.
right before the holidays.
Right before the holidays. Not friggin' cool.
I had a lot of
So
stuff
Matt,
to
what was
say
your
about
favorite
that.
toy?
Anyway, let me tell you about how I gave money to Hasbro. So
Oh,
I
God,
don't
those
know whether or not this counts. This is a little dubious. So I'm going to say it. Tell me if it counts
dubious
or not.
food.
Dubious food. Best food. The only stuff Link carries around. Anyway, I picked the TVC Ghost, even though
It's not out yet.
it probably won't be in my lap next year at around this time. But I did buy it. First time and probably only time I am ever going to do that, because holy moly was that expensive.
I'm glad you did it.
Really expensive.
Me too. I'm glad you got it.
Can you unbox it with us when it comes in
Sure.
3 years?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I have been collecting 3 3/4 inch figures forever, literally forever, since I was like born. My dad was collecting them for me, and then when I was old enough, I was collecting them. So I have every single Star Wars property in 3 3/4 inch for canon. You know, all 3 trilogies, all the shows, all the movies, except Rebels. And it was such a huge gaping hole in my collection, because I didn't really like the cartoony figures they released for the Force Link line. Wasn't a fan of those. So the fact that they're making Rebels figures, not even just Ahsoka Rebels characters, but like Rebels characters, that's just been like the happiest thing for me in my collection. I could not be happier about finally getting Rebels. And I think that my collection will be complete. I can toss it all away and start fresh after I'm done with that.
Very nice. So we each chose the ghost, sort of, in different.
I didn't
forms.
choose the ghost. What the
Well, I
hell are
mean,
you
each-
talking
Matt
about?
and I each.
I mean, I
Now that-
love the ghost, but excuse me, I did not choose the ghost. I
No,
picked
meant-
the entire
I
Bad
was-
Batch.
I
I
was
could
going
tell you
off of
every
Matt.
single piece of Bad Batch merch I bought this year,
He
but
did-
I'm
I didn't
not
say
going
we-
to. 'Cause
I
every
didn't say we
single
all
piece-
chose it. I said
What?
we each
Yes,
chose
you
it.
did. You
I said
you-
each.
He did that last round too, when he said Jack was involved in all of our favorite stories.
It's because Matt went before me, and I was going off what he said.
Am I not part of each? I guess I'm not, but okay.
What do we?
So,
But what do we do here? Because we all have different answers. Before it was like a
Uh,
consensus thing where we voted and then like,
you
we
can
were
say
like,
the ghost one, arguably, because like I am very excited that like that
Which
Lego
ghost?
set came out. I would say the Lego, honestly, because like
right.
that fall collection for Lego sets was very good, and that was like the
that
best
is a cool
one.
thing.
Oh yeah, I'll show you guys my. This is gonna be a wild.
Whoa, whoa.
I have Shin and the E-wing, which didn't happen in the show, and there's Sidon's mask looks like
the Sidon helmet's like
Sidon looks
quick tour of the room.
Looking good.
My old desk that was here.
Oh wow, that's what you
don't show that off.
Oh, you got to show everything.
And you just turn it like slightly more, and it's me. I'm actually like right next to you.
He does actually stream from our place.
That'll be a reveal.
I have before.
Clone Humor.
We should do that again.
Votes for the Black Series figs though. Those were quality.
Humor.
Those were really nice. And Matt didn't even get his yet, so his can't win.
Wow.
Exactly.
Not that we're like trying to win, but it's like consensus.
If I were to say something I got this year, it would be my Cal Kestis TVC figure with the little tiniest.
The one that looks
BD1.
like Tintin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Tiny BD1.
Toys are fun. Love toys. Moving on to comics, which are
Speaking
also
of
very
toys, hang on. Before we get too far away from toys, we did run our holiday toy drive again this year.
Yeah.
If this person mentions, thank you to everyone who purchased something this year, and we added in a lot of stuff to like pad it out at the end, and we ended up donating about 50 items this year. So it went to Toys for Tots for the Greater Boston area campaign, and just thank you everyone again so much for donating this year. It's one of our other favorite little traditions that we do. AJ dropped them off earlier this week because I was still a little under the weather, and it worked out perfectly. So thank you everybody so much.
So a Maraudy to all of our fans.
Hey, community service award.
That probably is my favorite tradition we do. The pumpkin paint off and that are just like really fun. So moving on to comics. Thanks, Jamie, for bringing that up though. I meant to mention it and I forgot. So comics. I guess I'll go first again.
Sure.
Yeah.
This was tough to think about because it was one of those things like what came out this year? Because I've been not off of comics, but I'm kind of waiting for the volumes at this point. Like Dark Droids is out right now by Charles Soule. Really fun, but I'm just trying to wait for the big one to come out at the end. But I loved the Crimson Reign run up until Hidden Empire, which was this year. So I kind of said Hidden Empire Part 5, which was the finale. Yep. Like the Knights of Ren with Palpatine and Vader, and it takes place on that
Maxine Station.
The Maxine Station, which we see in the High Republic and in Rise of Kylo Ren. A lot of stuff happens there. What's up with that? I don't know. But that run was just really great. So I'm kind of saying the whole run. I'm kind of pulling a Jamie and like bringing all the figures together. So Hidden Empire comic run. Charles Soule. It was Charles Soule, right? Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. He's just I love him. I love his comic stuff a lot, and I love his books are good too. But yeah, comics.
Yes. So comics was difficult for me this year as well. I'm gonna be honest. The first thing that I thought of, I was like, oh, you know what came out this year in like January? Eye of the Storm. That was the one about like the Martian Road like backstory. And then I looked into it. Good. That came out in 2022.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
So not only was it not this year, it was a full year ago. So I was like, oh shoot. Wow. But then I remembered the comic that was my comic of the year was the one that I was screaming about since like July, and I still don't own a physical copy of it, but it was Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 10, which was the first appearance of the Bad Batch. And they had their own like little like arc within it, and it's a Clone Wars story, and it's very cute. They like it ties in with like the other ongoing Clone Wars stories in that run. Yes. Well, the little Wookiee doll. And so I was just very excited for that, and I'm still on the hunt for a physical copy of it because we misjudged like the day it released, and it sold out immediately at all of our local shops, and so.
And right before it was like Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yes.
One, and he finds the doll too.
Exactly. The Hyperface stories. The little that run is very cute because they are all isolated stories, but they do actually connect, and
they all involve the doll.
Fun little thing.
I wonder what the doll is going to like reveal at the end. Like there's something going on with that doll where it like has something to do with the Force. So we'll
yeah. There's the one. Not to dive too far like into it, but there was like one issue like earlier on in which like Finn discovered it on a train, gave it to Rey because like he felt like it needed to go to her because he can hear the Force and whatnot, right? And then Rey ends up returning it to its original owner. So I mean, the doll's story is over.
And Kylo's like, I sense something here. What the hell is that? Is it one of you guys? But it's the doll, and he doesn't really realize it. So
right, so it's that, and then that's how it ends up on the First Order train, and yeah. Anyway, That's it. Yeah,
Good
Bad Batch
choice.
Sleep.
Good
Always.
choice.
Always.
Matt.
I picked Hidden Empire 5.
Okay. It was good. It was Kira was great in it.
This category made me realize that I really have not read a lot of comics this year, Star Wars comics this year, which is sad. I fell off the post Empire Strikes Back continuity. I have to catch up with that. I'm just waiting for them to go post Return of the Jedi or just any other time period by now. There's only 6 months between Empire and Return of the Jedi, a year most. And we're matching the amount of time that they've done between A New Hope and Empire, which is 3 years. So we're getting a little cluttered. We're getting a little too crowded.
Shout out to All New Nerds for throwback here. Clone Humor might know this one and some other All New Nerd fan people in the group. And All New Nerds, if you guys are here. They used to do a little show where it was comic catch up. And like they would all catch up with the comics going on. And at the end of it, they would eat ketchup out of the bottle.
Ew. That's such a boy. That's such a boy thing to do. I'm sorry. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, they did it.
Attacked.
That's like
disgusting. They're eating a food. Ketchup's a food.
You don't guzzle ketchup. Okay, Matt. Actually, you do guzzle ketchup out of the bottle.
Matt has an IV of ketchup in his arm right now.
At all times. Look who you're talking to.
Gross.
That noni next to him's holding the open it out. I don't know what Chad's saying. Let's go to the ketchup.
I think he's talking about the ketchup.
Let's go.
It's a boys thing, dude.
Chad's
you mentioned ketchup, and we're like, let's go.
Ketchup. The green ketchup from back in the day.
Dude, me and Chad. Oh, green ketchup, purple ketchup.
Yeah.
Do you know that stuff was like really bad for you, and that's why it got discontinued? I miss it.
Ketchup's pretty bad for you too.
You know, most like snack
ketchup
foods
is pretty
from
bad
the 90s.
for you. But just green ketchup was like extra bad for you, like additives and stuff that they put in to color it that was not good. Yeah, it was green.
I could have told you it wasn't good for you.
Not good.
Not good. I used to. Oh, I'm not even gonna because
Matt's never eaten a Lunchable. Moving on to favorite book of the year, not comic, but
this was tough.
Novel.
This was so tough.
So this one's tough because I want to say, Eye of Darkness, which is out now, but we haven't. None of us have finished it yet, so I'm not allowed to say that. But I feel like that's gonna be mine because I love that era of the High Republic. I love Marcion Row, whatever you want to say. Oh man, Marcion Madness. That'd be a good one. Instead of March Madness. Where the hell did that
come from?
I don't know.
We're doing like a Marcion bracket.
Yes, we are.
Of all our favorite Marcion Row moments.
What Jedi will Marcion kill today?
Favorite book? Matt, you go first.
Okay, so this was tough. This was a complete toss-up.
I think I know what you guys are going to say.
I went with... Okay. So I'm picking Rise of the Red Blade.
Okay.
Because that was like the sleeper hit of the year for me. I did not expect to enjoy that book as much as I did. I was expecting to enjoy it, but I was like excited to be like, oh, I get to go to work today, so I get to listen to my book on the way in. I'm never like that, but I was like, ooh, get in the car, listen to my book. I'm all happy. So it was just a really, really cool, in-depth look at how the Jedi handled post-Geonosis. Some pre-Geonosis. And it was just a very intriguing book. I don't want to spoil too much, but the main character is very cool. The fact that they took such a minor character from one of the comics and like fleshed her out to be like this really cool and interesting character that I was like dying to know what would happen next. And even though I already knew what would happen, was just perfect. And like I said, it was a really good vessel to explore how the Jedi during the Clone Wars, at the beginning of the Clone Wars, operated. So very good. And the other one was Cataclysm, specifically because the Battle of Dalna lives in my mind constantly. When I think of the High Republic now, I think of the Battle of Dalna and the Night of 1,000 Tears, I think it's called. In the rain, tall grass.
They call it that in that too?
Might have been Night of
1,000
Tears.
It's not the Night of 1,000 Tears. It's something else.
It's just the Night of Tears or 1,000 Sorrows.
The Night
Whatever
of
1,000
it is.
It's the battle. It's the Battle of Dalna. A bunch of Jedi in the tall grass, in the pouring rain, fighting the Path of the Open Hand. That's just such a vivid image in my mind of all these lightsabers glowing in this rainstorm in the tall grass, doing battle against like these unseen foes hiding. It's just it was such a cool finale to it all, and not even getting into like the Battle of Jeddah, which was also awesome. But I won't Won't rant anymore.
Phase 2.
Phase 2, I like more than Phase 1. I have officially decided
that's wild. But that's fair. I'm glad you do. Good variety there. Jamie, what do you got? Oh, I feel like you.
So this one was a little difficult for me as well, because like as you said, like I also haven't finished Eye of Darkness yet, and like I love Mark Hamill as a character, and like so far, like what I've read so far, I've like had to put it down, and then like, how is this allowed?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't thought about that so far. And then also in general this year, like it took me a while to finish the Phase 2 books for the High Republic because I just couldn't really get into it as easily as Phase 1. And I'm not sure why. That being said, I did love Path of Vengeance as well.
Path of Vengeance was awesome.
Which was the last one from Kevin Scott. I really enjoyed that one. But I think that my favorite Star Wars book of the year was also Rise of the Red Blade from Delilah S. Dawson. Because that one, again, it took me by surprise and it blew me out of the room. Like I love like the very early, like into middle of the Clone Wars and then into it. There was so much Clone Wars content in that book. It wasn't just about like the post Order 66 time. I wish that there was more time in it, but there was a ton of time spent during the Clone Wars. And I thought it was so interesting.
But why it was so good was because it spent so much time during the Clone Wars. And I'm not like a big Clone Wars guy. I like the Clone Wars, but I'm not like crazy about them. But the fact that they made it interesting again to me was like perfect. I mean, it was like, brilliant.
Like if you're looking for more about the Jedi during the Clone Wars, like specifically what's going on at the Jedi Temple, Rise of the Red Blade. That is the book. And it's like,
and it connects to Brotherhood, so it actually made me want to read Brotherhood.
Yeah,
but I haven't.
I haven't gotten to it yet either.
I think that's such an intriguing time for the Jedi too. Like prequel Jedi era is like my favorite. So
Jedi
era.
Like this is the end of that, and it's bleeding away, and then it's everything else.
But I'm excited for. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say in general for like books this year, like I read a lot of like different IPs. Like I didn't just read Star Wars. Like I read like the Cyberpunk book that came out, No Coincidence. Like that was a pretty good book, but it was kind of like a little weak in my opinion. If you know what happens in the game, didn't really relate to the game. It was just set in the city, which is very cool. But I was also like, I reread The Hunger Games like twice. I reread Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes like 4 times this year. Yet to see the movie, but I'll get there soon.
You haven't seen the movie yet?
No, look, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. I got sick again.
That's true.
A lot has happened. Okay, but yeah, I read a ton this year, and but Rise of the Red Blade was easily one of like my favorite books of the year, though.
So Rise of the Red Blade wins. We don't need to hear what I have to say.
Nope. Next category.
No. But I chose Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view because I love that format of stories. It was probably my least favorite of the trilogy of the certain point of views. I think the Empire one was my favorite. I think. But like this one was still really good. I still really enjoyed it. I loved talking with Adam and Kristen about their stories.
Yes.
I loved Adam's story was like so ridiculous with the
oh my god
with Pride. So like that's just another great addition to the I actually we sent a package to Adam because this has to do with the Maraudys too. He won a Maraudy last year for best book. He won
for Shadow of the Sith.
Shadow of the Sith sweep here.
Oh yeah.
So we sent him a little card that he won, which he knew about, and a little sticker that had a Maraudy on it. But we also put in a General Pride, Allegiant General Pride, or whatever his title is, Lego minifigure with a lightsaber, because in the book he talks about finding Vader's lightsaber in the short story. So.
Looking for it.
And then Kristen's thing obviously was great too with Sice Noodles. The deck story in there was great. Like, but yeah, that was my favorite. I almost chose like the book we just got for free. The which thank you to DK and Penguin Random House. Luckily, I have this in front of me. Didn't botch the name.
The new Rebellion Visual Dictionary.
Yeah, like those. I know it's like supposed to be favorite novel, but like I love those visual dictionaries, and it's the first one we've got in like 5 years.
Book. So. It doesn't say novel.
True, it does say.
You could have picked a sticker book for crying out loud, a coloring book.
You could have.
I really liked how I colored Kylo Ren in this on this page. Really spoke to me.
Yeah, I could have showed it off. I think I have one of those around.
It's
actually.
Beautiful.
So there we go. There's our books. We're moving on to what is next. Favorite Glup Shido.
Ooh.
Here we go. So
this one might be a sweep.
Could be.
I think
it might
so.
be.
We're all going to be in the same projects. I don't know if we'll all have the same character, but
yeah,
I guess
I know
go
who
first.
you're going to pick. But you know who I'm going to pick, so.
Yeah, Scuba Steph.
Hey, Milady.
I got Scuba Steph as well.
Yeah. Scuba Steph. And then that game was just Jedi Survivor. That game was just full of Glup Shidos. Like they were everywhere on Kobo.
I think
Glup Shido Simulator.
100%.
The entire bar. That was one of the funniest things. Like we had the chance to chat with Danny Homan, who was the lead writer for Jedi Survivor this year. And when we all said that
was awesome.
You can't forget about that. That was great.
Danny was
we all said that Scuba Steph was our favorite, and he was like, "Wait, not Turgle." He was like,
"I know."
Turgle's the meme of the year.
Turgle is great.
Turgle is like actual ultimate Glup Shido, but Scuba Steph is a Marauders classic. We gotta say.
No matter what was going on in that game, if you're in the middle of a battle, which I think Matt was at one point,
there I was.
You're getting chased by whoever.
The Brampa.
Yeah, you're getting chased by the Brampa or whatever it's really called. And you see Scuba Steph, you immediately run to Scuba Steph. You're like, I have to see what he says next.
Like I said, for me, it was the battle in the clouds. I was just about to get on the sky elevator to go all the way up to the base, and the music's like swelling and building up, and all of a sudden Scuba Steph is just like, "Oi, laddie!" And I'm like, "Uh-oh." And then everything kind of just as I talked to him about the fish he was catching, though he is not my choice for Glup Shido. Because that would be, thank you, Chad. Gorian Shard.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a wasted guy. Greenbeard. Oh my God, guys.
Greenbeard himself. I thought I had a picture of him here
all the time. We rewatched The Mandalorian season 3 in October. And I almost cried when he died. I was literally sitting there just bargaining on the couch over and over again, like, he's not dead, he survived, he's okay. But he's a plant. Plants don't go well with fire at all. So he's dead. He exploded. He died.
Yeah.
But I am so unbelievably sad that the guy who popped up was like, a vast Mandalorian.
Yes.
Come on. And he's so cool. He's got big flappy lips.
And then Smee the boar or whatever.
Yes!
Smee
the shirt.
Ugnaught with the striped shirt.
Was that the boar guy? There was also a boar guy.
Oh, there was the boar guy.
Many characters.
Boar's head McGee.
I don't remember the race of boar
Pumbaa.
people. But yeah, Pumbaa and Smee and Gorian Shard. Dude, they were cooking. They were cooking that episode. I'm so sad.
They were cooking. That was probably the best Mando episode. I know they were in a couple, but that one with the battle and everything. But on Navarro.
And that was such a cool design for the ship too. What was it? The Nimbus class?
Nimbus class, I like the big hook.
Oh yeah, that was
cool. The painting underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Did that have the painting on it? Yeah.
Yeah. Gone too soon. Exploded. Why'd they do it?
A lot of
should have been vain.
A lot of painting on ships this year. There's that one, and then didn't Bo-Katan and Axe-Woves people paint on their ship too? And then obviously we have Thrawn, which it's not painted on, but design on the ship.
Didn't they have the Mythosaur skull? Yeah.
yeah. There's
something,
a couple things going on with that. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and you're right. And then the Chimera had the symbol on it, although it's much more faded.
Well.
Enoch was out there touching it up.
Dude, Enoch.
He's
a good Glup Shido too.
Oh.
We use Glup Shido wrong.
Oh, that's
I recently learned Glup Shido is supposed to be a returning character that Star Wars fans know intimately, that other like casual fans who are just watching the shows don't know. So like in this example, like
so they
Thrawn
need to return
would be a Glup Shido. Yeah, it have to
Thrawn
be somebody from the
Shido?
Yeah, because it has to be somebody from the expanded universe.
I would argue
comes
against
into
that.
and you're like, whoa, it's him. It's
I think
Shido.
the meaning's changed though.
I think
it has too.
It evolved.
It's pretty much just that's my guy. That's my little guy.
He's my
guy.
It's my funny little doofus in the background, or
Exactly.
my funny little like side character alien guy. But yeah,
like they need to be a side character. They can't be like
of course they can't
the
be
main character. That's like the only criteria. Not a main character and just like my little guy. Like Saturday Tano is just like our little guy. Like, he's
He is
not
a
Where
big
did
guy.
you
He's a
where did
big
you
guy.
hear this other
That's
information?
on, like, if you go to like Know Your Meme, which is like the premier thing for like knowing things on the internet.
Okay,
That's what it
okay.
explains. That's the official definition on Know Your Meme. If you were to like be like, well, actually, and like Webster Dictionary definition it, you would do that. And that's what I did.
Well, actually.
Well, actually,
Glupshitos and
Glupshido.
Blorbos.
Let me tell you about Glupshido.
So,
Oh yeah. Oh
3,
boy.
2, 1 favorite video game.
Jedi Survivor.
Jedi
Obi-Wan
Survivor.
Kenobi. 2 years in a row. Hey, give it up for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All
For
right, so
Xbox.
the background on that. last year we did this.
We didn't keep that in.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
What do you mean we didn't keep that in? I
Was
think we
that
kept
in
it
the final? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last year when we did favorite video game, Matt was like, I don't know, the Obi-Wan Kenobi game we played, from 2002 on Xbox, regular old Xbox.
Because as I mentioned earlier, we go to this secondhand electronics store to get old video games all the time. So we would get like, old.
And he was like,
video
nothing
games.
came out. And I was like, Lego Skywalker Saga?
And
he was like,
Skywalker Saga was awesome, and that blew my pants off, and I loved that game. So I don't know how I forgot it. But apparently I forget everything I did during the year when it comes to like December, because I did it again this year. I was like, what the hell did I read? What the hell did I watch?
I got to roll back really quickly as well, because the chat asked if Shep Hazard from the Bad Batch would be a Glupshido. Yes, he would be a Glup. Shep is a Glup. He's the guy that runs Pabu, in case you guys didn't remember, because you both are staring at me like you have no idea who that is. So
no, I have no idea.
Wait, who is Shep?
Shep is the guy who runs Pabu.
Commander Shep.
No,
Shepard?
Shep Hazard. He runs Pabu.
Oh yeah,
What's
the
Pabu?
big
the island.
The island in Bad
Oh,
Batch.
the island, of course.
Oh my god. How many times have you guys rewatched this? Clearly not enough. Like,
I know what Pabu is. I don't remember Shep's name. He was like Maui. Can we get a you're welcome on Pabu? And the Bad Batch is just singing it all.
It's Wrecker. Wrecker would sing that.
And Gonki is the pig. Pua. Is it Pua?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the chicken?
Okay.
Also Wrecker.
It's all Wrecker.
Yeah.
Always has been.
I don't know who the chicken would be. Well, Omega would be Moana.
Yeah.
So, man, this is good. Write this down. Dave Filoni, if you're watching, or Jennifer Corbett,
if you're watching. No,
Brad
you
Rao.
are. The show's already wrapped up, guys. They have wrapped like production on the Bad Batch season 3.
The Bad Batch holiday special.
Ooh.
And it's Moana.
Dude, we all had to take a second on that one.
Oh yeah.
All right. Back to favorite video game. So Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. No.
Yep.
Jedi Survivor. It's so good. It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Not even close. I loved that game so much. Unbelievable. From start to finish.
Would you say you guys enjoyed? Oh, don't tell me we aren't going to do anything. I hope that trailer drops in a time now. Bad Batch trailer.
We'd have an instant reaction video on our hands.
Can I just say, anytime I play any video game now, I immediately notice when Noshir Dalal just pops up.
Oh yeah, you can hear him anywhere. He's in.
He is everywhere.
He's in Starfield.
He's in Starfield. He's in Red Dead Redemption 2. He's Charles. He's
he's in the Bad
30
Batch.
voices in Fallout. He's in the Bad Batch. I was playing Cyberpunk the other day. He's a character in Cyberpunk, and it's one that doesn't make any sense. He plays a Japanese character, and I'm like, Noshir, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. And I can just hear Bode, and I'm like,
on the show.
But Noshir, if you're down, let's chat, because
Matt reached out to him, I think.
I reached out to you a year ago. Haven't heard back, but I know you're busy, so
I keep referring to the fact that whenever it happens, we got Noshir'd. So
Yeah.
if I ever get to meet this guy, I'm gonna say that to his face, and he's gonna be like, "What?" So anyway, that's my bit about.
But
Noshir
Survivor
and Jedi Survivor
was incredible. I personally liked it maybe a step more than the original, and maybe not story wise, just whole game wise. It is what I wanted.
Gameplay wise,
and features and the community of Kobo, yeah.
The I don't want to say simulated open world of Kobo. I mean, it is pretty much open world. That was
yeah.
What an addition. I didn't know I wanted it. Now I don't ever want to play a game that doesn't have it.
And even like the bounty hunting side missions with what's her face?
With Paige.
She was a great character. I wish
Paige
like
dude, she was great. I loved her.
I wish the bounty hunting stuff was like a little better or tweaked a little bit differently, but it was still really good. Like I really enjoyed it all.
Yeah, I mean they gave you like tons of side quests, plenty of stuff to do, just like running around Kobo. And again, the music was
incredible,
phenomenal, and the story was great. I don't want to spoil anything, but some great stuff. I will say the integration of the High Republic into the game
blew me away.
Was like top tier, perfect. You know,
one of the other books that we received from DK Publishing and Penguin Random House was the High Republic character dictionary, and the 2 characters that are in the High Republic in Jedi Survivor are in the book. I was like,
oh,
really
they're
cool.
in the book. It's great. So
Dagan Gera,
just gotta say, I love Dagan Gera.
Tanalor's mine.
He's great. Oh my god.
He was so angry. He was such
wakes
up
from his
Anakin
nap, bleeds a crystal, and pieces out in his LAAT. He's like, what the hell?
No shirt.
You ever just been like so grumpy when you wake up from a nap that you just bleed a kyber crystal and decide you're just gonna conquer an entire
200-year nap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And oh my god, what was her name? The woman who put him in there.
Centauri
Cree.
Yeah, she was great. Awesome. Both of them. And that whole story was great. Shattered Moon.
Oh yeah.
And High Republic game when? Hopefully soon.
Who knows?
Now that you've introduced the High Republic to the general audience, like a much wider audience, and the Acolyte is coming out next year, which will do that, tenfold, and now completely bring the High Republic into public consciousness. Do it. I'm waiting for it.
So Jedi Survivor, amazing. Can't wait for the 3rd installment of it, and whenever that comes out, I'm very much looking forward to it. So next is favorite short. And Tales of the Jedi was not this year. Just a reminder to everyone, aka myself.
I was about to say everyone or yourself.
So all we had was Vision Season 2, and there was a lot of web content on like Star Wars Kids. If there was like anything that was a highlight for you guys, they're very cute shorts this year.
I can't remember what was on Star Wars Kids or YouTube.
There was a short about Charhounds. I remember that.
Oh yeah, the animal things with the droid. That was
what's
cute.
What's the show? Not High Republic Adventures.
I would count, the
Young
kids,
Jedi
Young
Adventures.
Jedi Adventures.
Yeah.
I would count that.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but
hey, Nubs Lego is coming out soon. Gotta get it.
Nubs capitalism. We already have like a million.
So I'm just gonna say this right here. Mine was Screecher's Reach as well.
Yes, award-winning Screecher's Reach.
Yeah.
That one was that one was scary. Like
yes,
that one sticks with me the most. Although
for sure,
I think there might have been some more enjoyable ones. Like I didn't do my homework going into this, but the one with the one, Matt, you think the people die at the end, but they don't. They become the stars.
In the stars. So that's my favorite.
Stars.
So that's
okay.
So yeah, that's my favorite short of the year, In the Stars. It was the one where the Empire was stealing their water, and they were like the last 2 survivors. And that was
brilliantly animated.
So good.
We love stop motion.
Great.
Stop
motion is
awesome.
Beautiful. Like
and they did a phenomenal job.
Incredible.
And I will go with the Spy Dancer as my favorite short.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're like ordering off a menu. And I'll have the Spy Dancer. Thank you.
Sir, there's a fly in my Spy Dancer.
Oh, Spy Dancer was great.
Dude, Spy Dancer was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was really good.
That's the one. It's so funny. That's the one I think about the most when I think of Vision Season 2. But like all of those shorts were just like over the top good. Like I can't think of a single one I didn't like this year. I Am Your Mother, honorable mention for
The Pit was very good as well.
Oh, the Aardman.
The Pit was also great.
The Pit was
also great. The Pit is another one, the Boondocks one. The one that I like, it looks just like it was animated by the Boondocks people. I don't know if it was. It might have been.
Huh. Vision Season 2 kicked ass. It was so good.
Vision Season 2 kicked ass. Season 3, please, soon.
Our May 4th this year was awesome. It was Matt was at Disney, and we were like posting back and forth. You were at Disney doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
That was wild.
I bought 2. Jamie and I were at Fenway Park.
Yeah, for Star Wars Night.
Star Wars Night. And then we watched Vision Season 2. It was a great time.
Journey to the Dark Head. Thank you, all new nerds. That's another that's like one of my all-time favorites as well.
That's
Journey
the
to
one
the
that
Dark
Matt
Head was so good.
Was drooling over.
You did love that one.
I really was drooling over that one. That was so good. Because it had like the most,
Oh, but Spy Dancer.
But Spy Dancer was the best. Spy Dancer.
It was so World War II.
The World War II feeling to it. The animation was top
Inglourious
notch.
Bastards.
It was literally the French
Unbelievable.
Resistance. It was
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
just the French Resistance. You French guys,
French guys.
French guys.
So can't wait for more visions eventually. That'll be great. Next, we're sticking with animation here, and we're going with our favorite animated episode. It's different from shorts, so I guess it's pretty much like, what's your favorite Bad Batch episode?
Yep, Bad Batch season
that's what it
2.
is.
This might be a sweep.
Bad Batch
Well,
sweep.
What do you guys think?
So Matt, you want to go first?
Sure. I picked The Outpost as my favorite.
I also
Bad
picked
Batch
it.
I
episode.
also picked the Outpost.
Outpost sweep.
Outpost was awesome.
The
Outpost.
Outpost, incredible.
Everybody in
Everyone.
the chat is saying
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too.
yeah. The Outpost
Outpost
is easily,
clears.
I think, the best episode of the Bad Batch in general, like across
Yeah.
all seasons.
I could
Yeah.
probably agree with that.
And it's only Crosshair, and that is the best part. It's just it's so good. Like I can't even. I need to like pause the show
Very
now and like
rewatchable.
rewatch it because like I'm just thinking about it again. I'm just
Crosshair in season 2 did so much for me.
Dude,
If you
Crosshair
watch-
in
if-
season 2 was on screen for
He moved
2
the needle.
seconds.
And he moved the
and he
needle
was
from
the-
over here to over here.
Yeah,
he moved
he
the
was so
toothpick
good.
from here.
Hey, there you go.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Bad Batch season 2 was a vibe.
Yes, it was.
The funny, I mean, I hate to compare stuff and say, oh, this is better than this and this, but like the most annoying thing going into it was it was up against the back half was up against Mando, which it was annoying because like
I know.
we don't want to compare, but they're out here doing it for us, and they were on the same day, and Bad Batch kicked its ass down the stretch. Like those episodes were all like, I love Mando season 3. I almost said 2. Love 2, obviously, but Bad Batch season 2. Amazing down the stretch.
I have chosen to like repress the fact that they hid the back half of the Bad Batch season 2 with the Mandalorian season 3.
I don't
And,
know what they were thinking.
How dare you for like bringing that back up? But I'm very glad that you did because animation deserves to shine so much. And the Bad Batch is so strong. And with every episode and every season, it's showing how it's easily like the best like animated show out there so far, and it's almost even like the best like actual Star Wars content being released right now as well. I
love how we get to
so hard. Like
we get to Bad Batch.
I
and
agree.
Everyone's in the chat like Bad Batch.
Okay,
I love
look,
the Bad Batch crowd.
Lucasfilm Animation is top tier.
Like they
Yeah.
are
Top tier.
Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch. It's all just phenomenal.
But
like Dave
but especially
Filoni
now.
has struck gold with Jennifer Corbett. Like they are incredible. Like I can't
Jennifer
get enough of
Corbett.
it. Brad Rao and oh my god, everybody. I'm just
D.
And in just
D!
in
Michelle
Michelle!
just in terms of the animation itself, the Bad Batch looks unparalleled. It's
Yeah.
the best looking Lucasfilm animation project they've released so far. And you can only go up. You can only continue getting better and better. And it infuriates me that
Chuchi.
they're not spending enough time with animation. They're not giving animation any projects. The Bad Batch is going to end probably 2024, hopefully 2024. And then what are we going to have? We're going to have Tales of the Jedi season 2, hopefully.
Maybe we'll get like a Rex thing connected. I don't know.
Lucasfilm Animation deserves
Rex isn't
more
a Jedi.
projects.
It
No,
does.
I meant a different show. But yeah,
The
If they
thing with
deserve more projects.
the thing with
I think it's
animation
because it's just not as mainstream. I don't know if that's what you're gonna say. Like
well,
they know people are gonna be watching live action, and it's unfortunate because
it's
storytelling
money,
through
and
animation's
it's stupid
amazing.
because like you
Yeah.
should still find your ways to like celebrate and literally make this art because like animation is an art. Filmmaking is an art form, but animation is like another next level art form, and it's just give me more of it. Like
we could get animation. Ben Solo and Luke
Ben Solo
Skywalker.
and Luke show. I know. It's oh my god, it's there. It's there. Everybody at Lucasfilm is thinking about it. They all know it. It's in their bones. It's in my bones. Give it to
Oh, yeah.
me.
if you let it in your
Please.
bones.
I feel it. I feel it every day. Just hurry up and do it. We all know you're gonna do it.
Knights of Ren animated series
When?
Please.
tomorrow.
Oh my god.
My
Remember-
God,
okay.
dude.
Longtime listeners of the show, I would always say that there's one Star Wars boy band that I absolutely love, and it's the Knights of Ren. And then the Bad Batch came around, so there are two Star Wars boy bands that I absolutely love. It's the Knights of Ren and the Bad Batch. So like
The Knights of Ren are like grunge. The Bad Batch are like
the Bad Batch are like
Boy
One
band.
Direction,
Yeah, there we
And the Knights of Ren are like Nirvana. So
Sure.
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
we just put it together. So, and
That's
I like
good.
both sometimes, all right?
Man, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
So I'm sure we'll
Top
have more
tier.
to say about the Bad Batch coming up. We'll go back to live action, which no one wants to do apparently. We don't want to talk about live action.
I'll
Yeah,
talk
but-
about it.
But there's plenty of good stuff to talk about.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
We've mentioned this episode already, but my favorite live action episode was the pirate from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
The episode caught me off guard so quickly. It was my favorite episode of season 3. Like, it was so silly and just so out of left field, and it felt like this is like what Star Wars like feels like. You have to have the silly in there. And of course, like the overall timing of the show, it didn't line up, but like it was so silly and it was fantastic in the moment, and it's such a good little capsule, and I loved it. I think about it a lot still.
Who doesn't?
A lot of people,
Matt,
but like whatever.
Not me.
what's your favorite live action?
Okay, I'm gonna go a little cliche here. You're probably gonna roll your eyes, but I am gonna go with Shadow Warrior. The Shadow Warrior is the best episode of live action TV this year for Star Wars. That episode absolutely
That's episode
blew
4,
me
right?
away.
Was that
Episode
the
5, I think. It's the
one
Anakin
where-
flashback with the
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the
World Between
Anakin
Worlds
flashback
episode.
Ahsoka.
Okay.
Ahsoka going through her kind of like trials, basically, like the end of her Jedi trials, with Anakin in tow, just kind of guiding her and like trying to kill her. Brilliant, awesome. I
Beautiful.
mean, loved the flashbacks. Like the flashbacks were really cool, and it's obviously really awesome to see, animation translated into live action right after I talk about how cool animation is. But it's cool to see that kind of synergy between the two. And yes, it is the Jason episode as well, where Jason, shows
Love
off his
Jason.
Force abilities, and we all love Jason. I love
Mhm.
Jason Sindula, big fan, biggest fan. No, probably not. One
I
of
think AJ
Friend
is.
of the show.
friend of the show, Jason Sindula. But yeah,
Matt
no,
and I are like equally.
yeah,
big
we love
Jason
Jason.
fans.
I liked Jason when he was a little gremlin. I liked him before he didn't look like a little gremlin. Did you know? I know you guys don't watch this, but if anybody out there is watching, I think you should leave on Netflix with Tim Robinson. Great show, awesome, really funny. The actor who plays Jason Sindula is in one of the skits, and it caught me so off guard when
Really?
he appeared. Yeah, I was watching it the other night, and I was like,
Are you sure about
"Holy
that?
crap, that's Jason!" Yeah.
Sure about that?
Hey, he
Did
knows
they?
that. He
Did it?
knows.
Yeah.
They know, guys. They know it's a reference. They know the show.
I understood that reference.
Hey.
Hey.
So, my favorite episode. I thought you were saying this one, but I got the names confused. But Fallen Jedi Part 4
Mm,
with
Mhm.
the duel in the woods on was it Cetos?
yep, Cetos.
Yeah.
Cetos in the woods. Marauder turned into a fart, a big old fart, blew away in the wind.
Fart in the wind,
get-
Maroc. How can we forget?
We get
Great glove shit out.
what else do we get? We get the great Ahsoka Balin duel. Like Balin shines in that episode. Ray Stevenson was amazing in that episode. And then Ahsoka falls off the cliff. We get Sabine's choice,
Sabine's choice.
which Matt thought about every day.
I
since-
still obsess about it. And in fact, when I was like making my list over the course of the week, and you made me think about Ahsoka again like a lot, and I was like getting going again. I was like, oh my god, Ahsoka's or Sabine's choice, Sabine Wren's arc. It's the heroine's journey. I gotta write a thing about it. So now I'm going a little nuts about that. But yes, Sabine's choice is one of my favorite things this year in Star Wars. I loved it. It was so good
it was good.
because
It was really good.
so complex. What do you like? Did she make the right choice? Did she not make the right choice? Who knows? She didn't make the right choice, and she's punished.
Speaking about making the right or wrong choice, villains.
Woo!
Favorite
Yeah.
villain of the year. So, I guess I'll lead off for this one. Balin Skull, great villain.
Oh,
Balin
Yes.
Skull.
And this was
Is it a Balin
easily-
sweep?
I think it's a Balin sweep.
It's Balin sweep.
It should
guys.
Balin
be a Balin sweep.
Balin sweep.
Balin
sweep.
Balin. Yeah, Balin. Was
I love
just
the good Lord
amazing.
Balin.
Yep, me too.
The good Lord Balin. Yeah,
The good Lord.
he
Lady Morgan. And
his
not Lady
introduction
Elspeth.
in the first episode after the spooky crawl, and he comes out. They come out. Balin and Shin come out like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Phantom
Yeah.
Menace. It's
Yep.
Reverse Phantom Menace, evil Phantom Menace.
Remember when we were like
from
shitting
there-
ourselves over that? Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great.
Remember, I'm
I
I'm
still
doing
am.
it right now. I'm constantly shitting myself.
They asked if Crosshair counts as a villain. Yeah, Crosshair counts as a villain.
But no.
So, yes and no. I mean, Balin's yes and no also. He's a bad guy.
Star Wars is known for its yes but no villains.
Yeah.
So
yes,
take your pick. If he's done something bad, you can count him as a villain. But it's usually more than that. It's more complex than that. Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Teacher was great. Can't wait for
that was
him to come back. But yeah, so they chose Crosshair. But yeah, what do you guys think of a Balin?
I love.
Why do you choose Balin as your favorite villain? Yeah,
I just love him. He's so unique because we haven't gotten a Jedi who is older that survived Order 66 that was like fully like matured at that point in time when the order happened, and then like they continued on their life. Usually these like Jedi survivors, I mean, like Obi-Wan's like an outlier. He's like still learning the hell, trying to figure out what the hell is going on himself. So like I wouldn't necessarily consider him like making all the sound decisions that he makes at the end of Order 66, but Balin is older, and he is someone who has had his entire life pretty much like done, settled. It's all set, and then it just gets ripped out from under him. And I love seeing what he has become, and I'm just so interested to see like what else he was planning. And I'm terrified to figure out what they're gonna try to do now because of Ray Stevenson.
And
it just sucks so much. You know,
sucks so much. I think that was one of the biggest clouds that hung over Ahsoka this year. Whenever you saw anybody talking about it, was always the conversation would always come back to Ray Stevenson and how sad it was that he passed.
Well, because Balin was, in my opinion, that's part of the show.
He's the most intriguing character on that show for sure. And you know, Balin is such a good character. The best prequels add context and dramatic irony to the things that they are prequeling. So like the prequels, Star Wars prequels, making Anakin the Chosen One may not have been a popular decision at the time, but it actually is pretty brilliant when you think about it, because you spend the whole entire prequels knowing that Anakin is going to fulfill his destiny in Return of the Jedi, but you also know what's going to happen. So and it's perfect dramatic irony where we sit there and we know exactly what's going to happen, but it's the complete opposite of what everybody else thinks is going to happen. He's not just a Jedi who turned against everybody. He was literally the Jedi, the chosen one. And that for me enhances his choice at the end of Return of the Jedi and makes it so much more powerful. Baylan Skoll's goal to end the cycle of, rising and falling, Republic, Empire, New Republic. We know where that ends. The First Order is going to wipe out the New Republic and rise again. The cycle will continue. And we know that this villain actually has a point. He's got a point. Like, to stop the cycle, maybe something needs to be done. Obviously, he's going to go about it really poorly because he's a villain. But it's such cool dramatic irony when we see Baylan and we know that these characters are going to have to take him out and they're going to have to stop whatever he's doing. But at the same time, you look at him and say, oh my God, if they only knew, that the First Order is out there, that it's going to rise up. And of course, that plays into the fact that the Imperial Remnant is also going to be, kind of vying for power during this time period. And that all comes back to Baylan's goals, motivation. I love him specifically addressing it's a cycle of violence. And that plays into Luke in The Last Jedi. The reason he exiles himself is because he wants to stop the cycle of violence. It's so thematically, that's why I loved Ahsoka, was because it was so thematically resonant with The Last Jedi. But Baylan Skoll himself is so thematically resonant with Luke in The Last Jedi that it's just brilliant. Dave was cooking when he wrote Baylan Skoll.
When he wrote Baylan, yeah. And
Ray
really
was
kind of
when he portrayed him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody in the kitchen was on fire.
Literally, in a good way.
in the best way.
Yeah, Baylan really kind of was like the parallel evil Qui-Gon. Now that I think about it,
he is the anti Qui-Gon. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of after like a prophecy type thing, and
what a friggin'.
It's pretty good, right?
That was a good one.
It was in my head. I'm like, have we talked about this? It's pretty obvious,
which is pretty funny because it is obvious. But
that's probably why we like him so much.
Yeah,
but,
chasing stories and whatnot, and like what people thought were like legends, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool.
I love how we literally got Thrawn this year as well, and
he just God. Not only did we get really Thrawn, but we got Gideon's final stand as well. We got two powerhouse villains, and we're like, this one dorky guy. This one dorky knight.
they dropped the ball with Gideon and Giancarlo Esposito.
I liked Gideon's final stand, even though I didn't like what they did with the clones, but I still think there's more to do with the clones.
His final stand was okay, but like, it's a story for another day. Even though it's our year in review. And Thrawn just wasn't in it enough. Like Lars was amazing as Thrawn, but he just wasn't enough. But favorite hero, Jamie, who do you have?
Omega.
Oh, a good one.
What a shock!
Why was that a shock to any of you?
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Well, no, but seriously though, she was my favorite hero of it because she also has had her own really long journey so far. And in the Bad Batch season 2, she really has like come into like her own and like become more confident in herself. And she's at this point now at the end of the season where like literally all hope is lost. And so she can only go up from here. That's what I'm saying. But I loved everything about her character arc in season 2 so far because she's the best, and she's still just a kid, but she's learning along the way. And I think that she's one of like the best like Star Wars kids that we've gotten like ever.
I think I said this on our Bad Batch recaps, but Omega equals best Star Wars kid character. That's a pretty long list too, but like and I love that
she's a perfect amount of naive and hopeful that all kids have. That's brilliant.
I love that she's a kid. I love that she's a girl, and I love that people can see themselves in her as they're going, like kids, like maybe young girls, even just young kids in general. I think she's the perfect vessel, as Matt said earlier, to enjoy that show, if that makes sense. I don't know, because like maybe I don't connect with Omega as much, but it's not about me, I guess. I don't know who I connect to, maybe Hunter or something, but
so like just to like add on. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay.
You go.
So like just to add on, when you say like just like seeing yourself like in it is like for Omega specifically is she is a girl in a man's world, in that or in a man's galaxy, and that is how I feel as a girl enjoyer of Star Wars. And Omega takes it in stride, and she just is like, I'm here too, and I know pretty much everything that you guys know as well, and I might not know everything along like at first, but I figure it out pretty damn quickly, and
Jamie.
That's one thing I love about her. Yeah, I know, Matt.
You got to read this book.
Thank you for
this book is for you.
Thank you for mansplaining the heroine's journey to me, Matt.
It's a good book.
Example 1.
You read a lot of books this year.
Did you read the heroine's journey?
He Matt it. So, my favorite Omega moment of that season, just to go off the Omega thing for now, of season 2, like it was the episode with the slop closet when they were in the temple place. But when she drops off the thing, like knowing Hunter's at like the other end of that, like that was like really brave. That was like very trusting. Like that was her like peak moment for me. That and her talking to Tech about and Tech talking to her about how he's like different. Like those were
after they
that's the best moment. That's the best moment. When her and Tech are in the cave sitting by the water talking about that. That was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah. But Matt, who's your favorite hero of
you go first. You go first.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Sabine Wren. I loved Sabine in Ahsoka. I thought, to me, she was kind of the main character, which is a little weird because the show's not called Sabine.
I know,
but
she is the main character.
She was my favorite part of the show. I guess I relate to her. I mean, she's kind of the same age as the three of us in the show. And I don't know. She's a creative person. We're all creative people. She gets angsty sometimes. With a teacher person.
Have I got a book for you?
Okay. Way to mansplain to me, Matt. No, but Sabine's just awesome. She's one of my favorite.
Yeah, Sabine was phenomenal.
So, yeah.
And I also picked Sabine. But then Chad put Cal Kestis in the chat, and I was like, oh shit, is it Cal Kestis?
And Marin.
Oh,
it was a tough year.
I loved Cal's arc in Jedi Survivor specifically, was just awesome. But I still have to go with Sabine. As you said earlier, like Sabine's choice, think about that all the time. Think about like just a lot of things that she did in Ahsoka that I just love. I just absolutely love how they handled her. I like her using the Force, I know some people don't really like that idea. I think you'll warm up to it eventually. You're gonna have to, because it's not going anywhere. But I really liked the culmination of her arc. I thought it was really cool you know, having to let go of Ezra after doing everything she could to save him, kind of, you know, the attachment versus non-attachment angle. And of course, who the hell knows what her and Ahsoka are going to do now that they're stuck on Peridia, which, by the way, if we had a best planet this year, Peridia would be it.
Not Kobo?
Excuse me? Pabu?
Yeah,
oh, wow. We had 3.
Peridia.
Excuse me?
It was Kobo.
Peridia, dude.
JB, it was Kobo.
It was Peridia. Dude, they had a ring around the planet of dead whales? Come on. Dead whale ring?
Tidal wave?
A saloon? And the Shattered Moon? The saloon and the Shattered Moon.
Peridia is the third. We have Octo, which is like the secret home planet of the Jedi. We have the secret world of the Sith, which is Exegol, and we have the secret world of the Night Sisters, which is Peridia. It's the third of the 3 like mythical planets.
The trilogy.
Exactly. That's brilliant. It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Best planet.
How did we get to planets? But anyway,
I just talked about it because I was thinking about it. That's what I did.
So we'll go through these next few fairly quickly, but
yeah, the big ones. We'll go through those quickly.
Well, they're favorite supporting actress. It was tricky to like. We were all kind of like who's supporting, who's lead. So you'll kind of see as we get through these who we considered what. But I chose Diana Lee
Inosanto.
Yeah, I want to make sure I got that.
Yeah.
Inosanto. She really made me hate that character, and I really wanted her to die. But like, she was so good in that role.
Yeah, she really was.
As Morgan Elsbeth.
That's what you want a villain to be, though. So
yeah, no, exactly. Like she was phenomenal. So, and she got some really cool sword fighting at the end to go out with the bang.
Did.
That was really cool.
Ahsoka Tano, the way she says Ahsoka's name at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
The way she like holds her wrists after she gets the cuffs removed, where she's like,
oh yeah, she's phenomenal. Great casting there,
Lady Morgan.
I love how the chat is like they keep talking about like Andor things.
Andor's
just eternal.
That's what they say. They said Andor comes out in 2023. So Ipsidon. Which one's Ipsidon?
That's the isn't that the slop closet?
Oh, it is.
I think
so.
Probably.
Right, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Matt, favorite supporting actress of 2023?
Drum roll, please. Friend of the show, Emily Swallow.
Oh, okay, good one.
I also picked Emily Swallow for.
I did a complete 180 on the Armorer because of this season and because of Emily Swallow's portrayal, and
that's true
because Emily Swallow sat down with us and hit us over the head with her portrayal of Emily Swallow and said, "What the hell are you guys talking about?"
She convinced you.
She did, but she convinced me before she had to sit down and talk to me. I really, the Armorer was one of the biggest surprises this year for me in terms of Star Wars. Like, I did not expect for the Children of the Watch to be likable, for me to like them. But I did. I ended up liking them. And, you know, I liked the Armorer. I thought she was going to be a villain. For 2 seasons, I thought they were setting her up to be a villain.
Same.
And then she rolls around in this one, and I'm like, nope. She's just a zealot, but she's not a villain.
I think being under the helmet doesn't help. I was talking about this to someone today.
Help.
Yeah,
you're right.
She always looks suspicious for some reason. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Because like, I really enjoy that the way that the Children of the Watch developed this season and just showing the flexibility that they ended up having with all of the other Mandalorians, and that all goes back to their leader, the Armor. And Emily just killed it. And I love to like actually see just like that moving along.
Wanda Sykes.
I can't believe Wanda Sykes was Spee.
I know. Shout out to Wanda Sykes. When are you coming on the show? When are we gonna get Wanda Sykes?
That'd be great.
Or Rhea Perlman. When are we getting Rhea Perlman on the show?
God.
Oh yeah.
Sid.
Can we get Ernie Hudson on? Because he was in
a a lot of
the Dewootin.
A lot of random cameos.
Oh yeah.
Side characters, yeah.
No Shir Dalal, friend of the show.
Favorite supporting actor?
Simpson?
That was is that your favorite supporting actor?
No, ooh. I was just throwing names out there. Favorite supporting actor for me was Iman Esfandi.
Hey, I also picked him. Holy
Iman
crap!
Sweep.
Iman Sweep.
Okay, look,
get those brooms out, baby.
One other thing.
He was so effing good.
Oh my god.
Long-time viewers of Marauders know that I don't really like Ezra Bridger. Ahsoka, the show, did a complete 180 for me on Ezra. Iman's portrayal of Ezra, it was perfect. It was so good. Like, he was everything that I wanted Ezra Bridger to be. And the moment he's building his lightsaber, and Hu Yang just takes out like the piece that like Kanan used as well on his own, I about passed out. I just gotta say,
our socks were on the moon.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
they were.
Because you knew what he was looking for. You knew what he was looking for.
Yeah,
and Iman just portrayed Ezra so perfectly. Like, he embodied the Rebels character so brilliantly, but took him to the next step. And apparently, Iman didn't watch a lot of Rebels before he.
Oh, come on!
He became Ezra. That's what he says.
That's
crazy. But it makes sense though, because like he was Ezra, but like a little bit more grown up. But like he still like seemed like the same, which was everything that he had to be. And you could tell he's been like sitting around, actually like meditating, which is like grown a beard.
In second place for me was Levi Bond as Night Trooper number 502. I don't know.
Absolutely, 100%.
Friend of the show.
Shout out to friend of the show, Levi.
Yep, all the nerds. You're still
actual friend of the show.
Actual literal friend of the show.
Yep, good friend, good friend.
Although Emily Swallow is a legitimate friend of the show.
Yeah, but Iman was just phenomenal to go off that. Like,
man,
the casting for Ahsoka was so good. We all need a cigarette.
For Ahsoka was brilliant, dude. Natasha Liu Bordizzo did so friggin' well. I'm jumping categories. I'm sorry, I won't say any more. But everybody was just phenomenal. Everybody was just great.
I gotta say, additionally, for supporting actor, sorry, while we're still on casting for Ahsoka, David Tennant as Hu Yang.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Brilliant.
Also out of left field, and we should have seen it coming. But like, I love how David Tennant did the lines for him, because he did in like the handful of Clone Wars episodes. Like, I love that.
Clone Wars episodes, and they brought him back, and he just nailed it. Hu Yang was so good.
I love Hu Yang. Like,
he was such a good character.
There were so many good elements of that show. Ooh,
Nubs down.
But I have bought like every piece of Hu Yang merch now, just because.
And I absolutely love that Cad Banality, D. Bradley Baker as Hauser for best supporting actor,
or D. Bradley Baker as Nubs, who just
or D. Bradley Baker as literally anybody but Hunter, I guess.
Jack Black.
Yes, Jack Black was in Star Wars this year,
and Christopher Lloyd. Lloyd.
Yeah. No,
best villain.
Favorite villain.
Yeah, favorite. Villain.
He mentioned Count Dooku.
He did. He was he's a Count Dooku supporter.
What a wild year.
That? What a wild year is right.
Favorite lead actor? Who wants to go first?
D. Bradley Baker as everything in the Bad Batch. No, I'm serious. That was my choice. Because everything in the Bad Batch season 2 was incredible. Obviously, in addition to like the core group of guys, he does every other voice in the show. But D, it has to be him. It was incredible. Just period.
D as Mayday.
Yes.
Mayday's like my favorite clone.
Mayday was fantastic.
He was the best.
No, but D is just so talented.
And D is awesome. And he keeps popping up. I'm watching a Spider-Man show right now, and he voices like 3 characters, and I'm like, D! And then he pops up again, and I'm like, D. Bradley Baker. Every time he's got such a perfect voice.
He's another one.
All right, Matt, let's say it together. I think we have the same one.
I don't think we do.
Really?
I'm about to throw a curveball, but you go first.
Ray Stevenson. As I considered him lead because I don't know what his like screen time was.
I consider him lead for a
just in honor of his job. Like I had to get him on.
You got to give him. You got to give him
Balin. So Ray is my favorite lead actor of 2023, and
he did such a phenomenal job. We've already kind of gushed about that.
Yeah.
But
go on and on.
We could gush more, but he's awesome. I am going with Brendan Wayne as Din Djarin.
For the Mandalorian, yes.
I like that.
As the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Because without him, we wouldn't have a show. He is the Mandalorian now. I mean, Pedro Pascal does the voice, and I love Pedro Pascal, and he does a great voice. But Brendan Wayne is the Mandalorian on set. He is the person we're watching perform.
Yeah. It's him and is it Lateef Crowder does it as well, right? But I think it's probably mostly Brendan.
I think it's Brendan is in the suit more.
Yeah. No, but I think you're right. But yeah.
It's both of them, and they deserve
it. Yeah, and this was the first season that they actually credited them both as Din Djarin, not just as like stand-in or like body double stunts.
Right.
Like, they were credited as Din. So
which is
really good choice, Matt. Really good choice.
No, he's great. He's great. I wanted to give him credit. So the Maraudys in the mail. Don't worry, Brendan. And Latif.
It's on the way.
Both of you again. Both of you getting one.
I like the categories where we all have different ones. Like, the sweeps are fun, but like it's interesting to hear like different takes on things. So next we're getting to the big ones. But we still have favorite lead actress. We might have all the same one, but is it a sweep?
I don't know.
I have Natasha
Katie Sackhoff?
Natasha
Liu
Bordizo.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff was good.
Really,
She was
Katie
my second
Sackhoff?
Katie
list.
Sackhoff was phenomenal. I love Katie Sackhoff, but
She took
Natasha
the reins.
Liu Bordizo blew my socks off.
Yeah, because I don't know if she watched Rebels. Apparently, Iman didn't watch Rebels, according to you, but I would think she definitely did because she was.
According to him,
There was a few
Not me.
lines that were like spot on. If you closed your eyes, you'd be like, "Am I watching Rebels?"
Yeah, spot on Sabine.
She matched her voice to what Sabine sounds like. So
embodied it very much.
Yeah,
very well.
I gotta
Perfect
go Katie
casting.
Sackhoff because Mando season 3 took such a hard left, like down Bo-Katan's story that I was not expecting, and
she is the Mandalorian of Mando season 3. Much as
every single scene that Katie was in, it was her moment. That's simply what it was.
Woo!
Sorry, I
Katie
just like
burst
flung
through
like
the
a
wall.
ruler across the room.
I'm here to accept my award.
You're welcome. But yeah, she deserves it.
Oh, she
awesome.
does.
She is phenomenal. She was, like I said, the Mandalorian of this season of Mando. So she's basically like the co-lead now.
Which I was pumped about. I was pumped Bo-Katan was kind of in the lead there. But.
For all of like the bumps in the road that like Mando season 3 had, like looking back on it, the cast was absolutely killing it.
Yep. Jack Black killed it.
Yep. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd killed it.
I almost said Michelle Ang for Best Actress, but I had to go for Katie for this one.
Good choices. Good choices all around.
Absolutely.
I'm glad Mando season 3 is getting some acknowledgement.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely deserves some. I don't bad transition, but I don't think it's gonna get acknowledgement here for favorite show. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll be surprised. So favorite show, Matt, you go first.
I think we all know where this is going.
Ahsoka, 100%. It was my most anticipated show of this year, and it delivered on everything I was hoping it would. It just had all the mythology that a grown boy needs, and I needed it. I was very happy. I got all of my pagan and Bible references,
paganism,
and Arthurian legend, and all of this. I mean, it was just dripping with that stuff. And I know Dave Filoni loves that stuff as much as I do, and I know that's his Star Wars, and which is why I'm so on board with it.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, it's his bread and butter, and I'll eat it anytime he makes it. So these are just not working out, but they're great. Ahsoka is my show of the year.
Oh yeah, Chad's waiting for a paganism episode for you or something.
That's his next project. Don't rush him.
Oh my god, my Ray video.
Leave it at that. Leave it at that.
Jamie, favorite show of 2023?
I don't know.
Bad Batch season 2.
What? Oh my god, that's crazy.
Wow.
Oh my god, who would have thought? But yeah, we all would have thought because that's all I was yelling about going into the year. That's all I was yelling about while I was on. That's all I was yelling about when the other show tried to overshadow it, and I was very upset. But it killed it. Yeah, and the Bad Batch season 2 did not miss, and I can't wait for season 3.
All right, drum roll.
Uh-oh.
Chat. You guys get hyped here. I know you're all big fans. So, favorite show of 2023. This show left the biggest impact on me. It had the heaviest moment that I think any of the shows had, and I was very shocked. It had the biggest curveball. I was stunned. The Bad Batch season 2.
Mm-hmm. I knew that's where you were going.
I did say after Ahsoka that Ahsoka might be my favorite Star Wars series, just ahead of Andor. That might have been recency bias at the time. It's close, but I don't know. For this year, I feel like Bad Batch season 2 was more memorable to me than Ahsoka, and I don't know if that had to do with the unfortunate circumstance of it fell under when the strike was going on, and we couldn't kind of do live things with it, have fun with the community.
We weren't digesting it enough.
Yeah, it was a little different. There was a lot of clouds over that show for different reasons, but the Bad Batch, like. The first half of season 2, like it built pretty slowly. And then oddly enough, once Mando started with it, it seemed to like those were the best episodes, and I'm like, why is that a thing? Like, how did that happen?
It was nice
but like
getting 2 episodes a week.
The Crosshair episode, like both of them, the one with Cody was unbelievable, and then they topped that with the one with Mayday in the snow, and it's like, oh my goodness, anytime it snows out now, I'm gonna be like walking around thinking about that episode and trying
about
to
how
like,
Mayday froze to death.
Yep.
And just like that moment stunned me in that. And then in the finale, Tech died. I mean, maybe he's not dead, but right now in this moment, he's dead. And I think the way that episode was edited, where they like took the train back or the tram, and like it was all like flashbangy. Like if you, it was like in Call of Duty when you throw the flashbang, your ears are ringing and everything. It was they did it like that, and it was just such a whirlwind. Like you felt like you were Omega in that moment.
Well, it was just like
that blew me away.
In season 1 when Hunter gets shot and Omega gets taken, and it's like the same off of my cabinet.
Why are you trying to relive this? Why are you trying to do that to yourself?
I don't know why. This happens like all the time with like characters who fall off of things. They tend to the action figures tend to like jump off. Like Tech jumped off here. I used to have like a Sherlock like Funko Pop just like hanging around. He would always fall off of the cabinet. And I'm like, why are you Reichenbach falling over here all the time? Like it
Best Star Wars show of 2023, Sherlock. Season 2.
According to Cad Banality, it's actually BoJack Horseman. The best Star Wars show of 2023. Great show. Watch that. Watch the show. But
yeah, I fixed him. He's with everybody else now.
Bad Batch season 2 had that magic, and so did Ahsoka. Ahsoka had that magic, but
literally
with a K.
Literally, they call it magic.
Magic.
They literally have magic. No, but I think that's fitting. I think that's fitting for the Maraudy to be awarded to Bad Batch season 2. As much as I love Ahsoka,
I just think, you know what? Here's where it came down to for me.
The Maraudy goes to.
We know how I felt about the Mando season 3 finale, and the Ahsoka season finale I thought was very good. I thought it was done pretty much perfectly, but I don't think it had like a punch in the face impact that I want from finales. Sometimes they don't need that, but I think Bad Batch did have that punch in the face. And I know it's tragic, and we don't want Tech to be dead, and he's probably honestly not. I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth.
It was a very good ending.
Yeah, it was. I like tragic endings. I like those Empire Strikes Back endings. And
see, here's
I know Ahsoka kind of was that, but it felt joyful. It felt like happy.
Well, yeah, like Bad Batch season 2 and Ahsoka both had their like Empire Strikes Back ending of, you know, like Ezra does get reunited with Hera, but at what cost? Oh, Ahsoka and Sabine are still stranded.
Ahsoka and Sabine are gone. Yeah, they're stranded.
And Thrawn as
so it's like
Star Destroyer of zombies.
Okay.
Yeah. Who knows how the heck Ezra like snuck out of there? But like, okay. And then like Bad Batch season 2, it's just literally just all hope is lost. Like we lost another one. Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing?
And honestly, Visions is up there. Visions was really good, but
yeah.
I feel bad to say we're speaking in terms of like canon things, but because we're not, but like
no. I don't know. Visions was awesome. I mean, we've talked about how pretty much every episode of Visions this year was just off the charts good. This was a good year for Star Wars.
Very good. And we're here being like, I want more. You know, I think it's upsetting not to have Star Wars during Christmas time.
I miss it.
Like the sequel trilogy started that trend. And yeah, we can go watch like old Star Wars movies and content, but it's like I like having it like right now. And I don't know if we had it last year during this time. I don't think we did either.
No, because Andor had just ended.
Book of Boba was like the year prior around November.
This time. Bad Batch started on like January 4th.
Yeah. So Christmas was like.
Yeah, we didn't really get a lot of bricks and screws this year.
No bricks and
hopefully
screws
next year, but we'll see.
Need more of those.
Yeah, and I hear Andor season 2 has like double the bricks.
Double the bricks, triple the screws. Come back.
Speaking of which, AJ, you have one more category, right?
Yeah. And if you're looking forward to Andor in 2024,
I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
Not happening in 2024.
You might want to wait.
So, favorite show was like, you know, that's the top Oscar of
what's the top Maraudy?
Oscar? Top film. What do you call it? Film of the year.
Best picture.
Best picture. Okay, I'm an idiot.
Film of the year for the Oscars.
Best film is La La Land. Yeah. Most anticipated project for 2024 is our ending thing here, though. So, who knows what's coming out in 2024? Nothing's like official.
Star Wars is not dead.
We thought this would be official. We thought this would be funny to have at the end, and Matt would be like, "Oh, this didn't even happen." But what do you guys got? You want me to go first?
Yeah,
the Acolyte.
Same.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
The
I'm really excited for the
Acolyte
Acolyte.
sweep.
Acolyte sweep.
One final sweep.
Yeah, because that'll
Put those
be
dustpans out.
that'll be the High Republic era. It'll be like the end of the High Republic era, allegedly. Oh shoot, but Bad Batch season 3 as well.
Oh my
I'm
god,
surprised
you
you
went with the Acolyte. Oh my god.
Okay,
But honestly,
look.
the Acolyte looks like it's gonna be the bee's knees.
It
so.
does look like.
Okay, look. Remember when Andor was coming out and I was like didn't have like any expectations for it, and then it blew me like into like the next dimension. I actually am like excited. The Acolyte. Now I'm not gonna like it. Oh my god, why did I say this? So, I'm very excited for it though.
The internet got so upset that you
I was about to say,
Wi-Fi.
don't worry, because I didn't hear what you said. So
I heard pieces.
Don't
it's
worry
getting to
about it.
the witching hours.
It is getting to the witching hours. Bad Batch season 3.
I will say Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah,
as my non-Acolyte pick.
Okay, I did say Project. Yeah, I'm. Jeez.
Is that coming out
Outlaws,
next year, or is that 25?
No, I'm
It should be.
I'm staking a bet on 24 still, being the year it comes out.
All right.
I think Skeleton Crew is gonna low key be really up our alley.
That is the Andor for me of this year, where
I
I'm
think
going
Skeleton
with no
Crew-
expectations and I'm expecting to be blown away. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think Skeleton Crew will be up the Marauder alley. I don't know if it'll be good, but I think it'll be up the Marauder alley. I think that's for sure.
Just give me some crazy aliens.
Up the Marauder alley does mean good.
That's true. Jeez, we'll be doing this next year, and like Skeleton Crew might just be starting.
Yeah, we're literally going to be talking about like, wow, that episode of Skeleton Crew was really great.
How does that
While
work?
we're picking like our most anticipated projects at 25.
I think that what that will work out is, we'll count that as a 2025 show. Simple as that.
Okay.
This time next year, most anticipated project for 2025, the Luke and Ben animated show.
Wow.
Yep.
That's optimistic. But yeah, Outlaws is a good one. I'm still gonna go Acolyte, but
I'm hoping for 2024, and I'm like I said, I have faith that it's 2024.
I apparently played 1,100 hours of video games this past year, so I guess I should say Outlaws. Yeah, Chad told me that he texted me the other day. He told me to go touch grass. So
you know what AJ does? AJ goes and touches Legos. So
AJ can't touch grass; he's allergic.
not this time of year. Only in the spring and summer. But
you can't. You're trying to kill him, Chad.
All right.
But anyways, this was the Maraudys of 2023, our second ever one we did, and this was pretty epic. We went for like almost over an hour and a half now. Thanks, guys, for.
We got through all of our categories.
Hey, the Oscars always go over, so we should too.
That's true.
Play it off. We could play off, but I don't think we're going to.
Fred.
We would have played Mad off. Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone.
I think he's saying that this episode rocked.
Ooh,
right,
that's a good one.
Can we play the intro as the outro too?
That's what I was gonna do. That's exactly what I was going to do. So
play us.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
relax. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat tonight and hanging out with us, and thank you everyone who's been just listening to this on the playback. If you've been listening to the audio version of this, there's a video version as well on YouTube. If you've been watching the video version, you can bring us to go in the audio version as well. You can find us everywhere on social media, whatever social medias are around at this point in time, at Holland Marauders, sometimes just at Holland Marauder, depending on the length. And yeah, this has been the Holland Marauders 2023 year in review, the second annual Maraudys. A little AJ is lifting Cobb Vanth in the air in the background. Matt has a Nody pumpkin behind him, and I have the entire season 2 of the Bad Batch collection behind me. We've been the Holland Marauders, and we'll see you guys next time on the Holland Marauders podcast. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, which one of these do you like better?
Why do you need to know?
Because it's a black tie event. Duh.